Welcome back to the exploration of Sherlock Holmes video game series. So I know that last time I said that we'd continue on our Frogwares journey with Nemesis, but I ended up playing this one first, so enjoy the break from Frogwares' bugs. After all those improbable adventures, it's only fair that we'd end up here. The Beekeeper's Picnic is a cozy Sherlockian adventure! Yippee! In case you're not familiar with the Holmes lore, yes, he ended up retiring and becoming a beekeeper. Yes, I know how this sounds, but I'll get more into it later. The dev team goes by the name The Wonder Room, at least nowadays. Back when I first wishlisted the game, they were called Afoot Games, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm guessing that they were planning on dedicating themselves to Holmes video games, but then decided to not limit themselves like that. This game, aside from being cozy, is also unexpectedly hilarious. I only actually belly laugh at very specific things, so this is high praise coming from me. Actually wish I had recorded my reaction going into it blind, but what can you do? I guess I have nothing else to say other than the Beekeeper's Picnic is super worth it, so if it looks interesting to you, get out of here and go play it now. Alright, let's get into it.
Well, I was correct in my summation then. This is where the printing press created by the master counterfeiter Prescott was hidden.
There must be 2,000 counterfeit notes here. If all these had entered circulation, the Bank of England would have been severely undermined.
Now we only have to wait and catch the bird returning to its nest.
You think this man, Prescott, will return here?
No, he was killed. It is his murderer I mean to catch. James Winter, alias Killer Evans, known to have shot 3 men in the States.
Well, if our Wild West friend tries to live up to his nickname, I will be ready for him. I have my revolver.
Good old Watson. Stay where you are, Mr. Evans, if you value your life. You have a gun trained on you, and Scotland Yard will be with us in a few moments. I would advise surrender.
Well. I guess you've been one too many for me, Mr. Holmes. Saw through my game, I suppose, and played me for a sucker from the first. Well, sir, I hand it to you. You have me beat, and...
Watson! You're not hurt, Watson. For God's sake, say that you are not hurt.
It's nothing, Holmes. It's merely a scratch. Examine for yourself. It's just a flesh wound on my thigh.
You're right. It is quite superficial. Keep.
Killer Evans.
Yes. A clear case of self-defense on your part, dear fellow. Perhaps it is just as well that it should end this way. If he had killed you, I would not have let him get out of this room alive.
Holmes, I do wish you would stop that.
Stop what, precisely?
Ruminating over my injury. You said yourself that a flesh wound, quite superficial. I will be back on my feet again in no time. You must stop worrying.
I was doing no such thing. I was considering an entirely different matter.
I may not be a master of observation, but I have known you long enough to think otherwise, my dear fellow.
There must be some way for me to help Watson. Making a close observation of him would be a good place to start.
Okay, so first things first, what is going on with the voices? I actually double checked to make sure I hadn't accidentally purchased an AI game, but no, it even has this award on the Steam page. I'm guessing the engine plus inexperienced devs are just messing with the voice lines, since everything seems to point towards this being their very first game. Secondly, I absolutely love these designs. Watson especially, he looks so cute. Anyways, on to the gameplay. So, we're obviously not beekeeping, this is Baker Street. Turns out that this is kind of a tutorial to showcase some of the unique game mechanics. First, we can observe Watson and enter this zoomed in version where we can note that he keeps licking his lips and clearing his throat. We can observe, pick up, use and talk to anything, which can wield some unique interactions.
Holmes?
I'm feeling to see if you have a temperature.
I do not have a temperature, Holmes. I have a superficial leg injury, that is all.
Are you becoming familiar with your competition, Watson?
It's a jolly good little story. You see, this young governess goes to work in a large country house. Then one night, her employer is killed, seemingly by a toxin from an exotic plant he was cultivating. And she decides to make an investigation of the matter.
Who are the suspects?
Well, personally, I suspect the butler who... Wait. If I keep telling you details, you will tell me who the culprit is before I have finished. Sorry, Holmes. You must read it yourself after I am finished with it.
I absolutely love this touch. Games usually only have a few "I can't do anything with that" and "I have no idea what you want me to do" lines. So I love how the Beekeeper's Picnic encourages unusual forms of exploration. Looking around the room, even though it's only a single screen, this is probably my favorite rendition of Baker Street I've ever seen. It's cozy and cluttered, exactly the way I imagine it, with the Persian slipper, the great fall of the Reichenbach, the VR. On the wall, there's a phone, which we can use to call Mycroft.
Hello, operator. The Diogenes Club, London, if you please. Yes, I'll hold.
My dear Sherlock, how can I be of assistance?
Perhaps you can give me some advice.
Certainly. What is the conundrum of the moment?
This version of Mycroft is so cute. Like, yes, just because he's a recluse and is the British government doesn't mean he has to be all austere all the time. We chat for a bit, but there's nothing of real importance to discuss, so bye, Mycroft. He serves as a sort of immersive hints mechanic, which I think is really creative and really cool. There's Watson's gasogeny, but Mrs. Hudson seems to have taken all the glasses away.
Well, well, what have we here? Some pink pansies have been delivered to our door. There's a handwritten card on rather fine cardstock. The penmanship is decidedly female. However, it has a certain lax form which I associate with those in the medical field. Dear John, wishing you a swift recovery. With warmest regards, Rebecca. Dear John, dear John. How presumptive.
Ah, the good old homo but no homo jokes starring Sherlock and Watson. I have a love-hate relationship with them. On one hand, I like them and they can be very funny. On the other, I've been through BBC's Sherlock's queerbaiting. It can become exhausting after years and years of haha, no homo. But I suppress my PTSD. This won't last for years and years. 4 hours at most, probably. Ah, the remains of Watson's dinner. We can deduce it's curried lamb, which is delicious, but very spicy and salty. We have examined everything of importance here, so we enter our brain attic. This is where we make our brilliant deductions, and...
He should not be here by rights. This is a place of facts, of logic. He's a distracting factor, grit in a sensitive instrument. Yet I find I want him here all the same.
It's so cute. On to the blackboard, we have our goals listed here, which include "Can I help, Watson?" and also "Important news for Watson." Over on the left side, we also have the facts, which we can combine with one another to deduce things. Well, Watson ate something salty and spicy for dinner. Plus, Watson keeps licking his lips and clearing his throat, means Watson is thirsty, of course. Back in the real world, we grab the beaker from our chemistry station, fill it with carbonated water, and hand it to our beloved Watson.
Here you are, my dear fellow. You seem to be thirsty after your curried lamb. Apologies for the container. Mrs. Hudson seems to have purloined all our glasses. It is clean, I assure you.
Thank you, Holmes. You are right. I am thirstier than I realized. I will trust that you have avoided cross-contamination when it comes to your scientific equipment, and that this is not an attempt to poison me.
Well, I've done that for him at least. Perhaps I should stop delaying. There's something important I need to speak to him about. Watson, we must discuss something important. Earlier you presumed that I was berating myself for allowing you to come to harm. While my thoughts have turned that way often, ever since you were injured, it was not what I was thinking in that moment. Rather, I was trying to decide how to share some important news with you. I have decided to retire.
Retire?
Yes, to sequester myself away on the farm of my dreams. I have a notion to take up beekeeping.
Give up your detective work? Surely not. You are simply upset because I was hurt. In a week or two...
No, I'm quite certain. In fact, I purchased a cottage and some land in Sussex several months ago. I do not crave the thrill of detection as I once did. It is a task for a young man, and I am no longer young. It is time to move on.
But what am I to do?
Whatever you like, Watson. I am not your keeper. It is rather a large cottage.
Holmes, you know that I will never tire of your company. A countryside retirement sounds idyllic. Yet, this is very sudden. I am not certain I am ready for that kind of seclusion. I still have a few decades' worth of a perfectly respectable medical career ahead of me, and people here who rely on me.
Once I fail to supply the curious adventures which thrill you and provide you with material for your sordid magazine stories, you lose interest in me. Is that it?
Of course not. You know that is not true.
Or perhaps you've set your sights on marrying the sensible and pretty matron who brings you flowers and writes you sweet nothings. If you propose, I'm certain she will agree. She has not been subtle about her intentions.
Holmes, you are being childish.
Yes, I suppose I am.
Of course I will come with you if you need me. If you ask me to join you, I will.
No, I cannot ask that of you. You are loyal and true to a fault, my dear, dear Watson, and I am certain that you would give up your passions to join me in mine. If you did, a seed of resentment would be sown which might drive us apart in the end. I could not endure that.
It seems that we are being drawn along different paths, then.
Yes.
Strange, isn't it?
Yes. Very strange.
They were wonderful years, weren't they? I loved every moment.
Watson, they were glorious. We were glorious.
You won't vanish on me, will you, Holmes? You won't simply disappear without telling me you are going. I could not bear that.
No, I think I have a little more sense these days than to engage in those kinds of theatrics. Should you need me, Watson, you will find me in Sussex, keeping bees and reading philosophy, and you will always be very, very welcome. Watson, are you going to loiter on my doorstep all morning?
Good afternoon, Holmes. My word, you look well. I don't think I've ever seen you with so much flesh on your bones and colour in your cheeks.
I remain as wiry as ever under the knitwear, I assure you.
I must apologise for turning up out of the blue like this. I know I should have written to you ahead of time. My ship came in this morning and I found myself unceremoniously deposited back in England. I couldn't face the hubbub of London. I really am dog-tired. And you do have rather a good track record of perking me up when I'm back from a war. So I thought... I hoped... If it is at all inconvenient, then you must tell me. I am certain I can find alternative accommodation.
Watson, kindly stop talking nonsense. Come inside, get out of that uniform, and make yourself at home. You must stay for as long as you like, my dear, dear Watson. Watson is by my side again. I must ensure that he's able to rest and recuperate, and find a way to tell him, well, many things. But how?
A picnic, of course. Before we move along with our exploration of Sussex, I do wanna say, this is so well written and so well delivered. My absolute favorite is when Watson says,
They were wonderful years, weren't they?
Ouch, shut up, I'm gonna end up crying over here, let's just move on. First of all, we check our brain attic out, and look at it! I'm not gonna go over all the comments Holmes makes about the portraits because we're gonna meet these people around, but the contrast between the previous brain attic and this one, with all these friends and the sun and a dog, wow. Okay, I've been all praises, so let's change it up a bit. Something that I'm not a huge fan of is how Holmes has been aged. Like, he was always super skinny, so this right here was his jawbone. And there's nothing to suggest that Holmes lost his teeth, so there's no reason for the jawbone to just vanish. Am I thinking too much about this? Like, when you're old, you're gonna get maybe a turtle's neck, you know, that merges your jaw with your neck and everything is wrinkly. You're not very likely to get this snatched, shaved off jaw. I'm only commenting on it because it is the main character and it's distracting to me. But anyways, beekeeping fit.
A Staffordshire pottery dog. Watson bought it from the village fete. I detest it.
I love how careful and committed the Wonder Room is being to writing these two as an old married couple. Like, yeah, Watson bought that. It's sitting in my living room. I hate it. No, I'm not gonna throw it away. Are you crazy? Walking into the kitchen. Oh my god, hello pretty girl.
May I take this, Martha? I may need it to exhume a body.
Of course, Mr. Holmes. It doesn't belong in my nice clean kitchen in the first place. Did you say exhume a body?
Goodbye, Martha.
Oh, and we have a phone here also. We can call the Diogenes Club. Again, we chat, but nothing important to say. Talk to you later, big bro. Now we officially meet Martha, our housekeeper. She loves flowers, tobacco, and wears a wig, since her hair started thinning out. Anyways, we ask her about what's needed for the perfect picnic, and she gives us our goals. A hamper of picnic food, a quiet spot with a beautiful view, and a drink. Watson absolutely loves Mrs. Kumar's elderflower cordial. Of course, Martha can't make the food for us, since Holmes is insistent that the picnic has to take place today, and she has her chores. We'll have to figure this out on our own. Going upstairs... Oh my, bullet holes! Did maybe a foe from London follow Holmes here?
I was bored.
Of course you were. R.I.P. Holmes, you would have loved it here in 2026, where you don't have to shoot holes into your wall to quench that ADHD boredom. In Holmes's room, it looks surprisingly cohesive. I like it. Portraits of criminals, his failed attempt at Inktober, a skull Miss Tilda gifted us, mysterious mold experiment under the bed. We take our lock-picking tools and then head out again to snoop around Watson's room.
My word. For many years, this was a lumber room. I made it ready for Watson prior to his arrival by bringing out the few belongings of his I retained from our Baker Street days. Clearly, he has added to the nest the items he brought in his suitcase. Seeing all his personal effects here makes me feel as though I've stepped backwards through time.
Ooh, he's writing something. Let's see.
Now, what does he say about me? He's always overly flattering. Rarely does he spare me any blushes. The relations between Holmes and I those latter days were peculiar. He was a man of habits, narrow and concentrated habits, and I had become one of them. Oh dear. As an institution, I was like the violin, the shag tobacco, the old black pipe, the index books, and others perhaps less excusable. His remarks could hardly be said to be made to me. Many of them would have been as appropriately addressed to his bedstead. Oh, Watson, I am sorry.
There's nothing to pick up here, and Martha's room is locked, so we go on our way. Outside, Watson is taking a nap.
The finest moustache in all England.
That tickles!
Continuing to the left, there's our honey extractor, and we can pick up our smoker. We then put on our beekeeping fit, safety first, smoke the bees, and then take a tray of excess honey. And, oh my god, our dog!
Noble hound, the finest canine in all England with the best nose. Toby, third of that name.
Gosh! I say, that's a little rich. All true, of course. Would the great Sherlock Holmes accept anything less in his loyal hound?
He talks! Holmes can't hear him, but we can. Come on, Toby the Third, follow me. We put the tray in the extractor, and now we just have to find a jar for the honey. That's all we can do at the farm for now, so out to explore the village we go. We first visit the Gables, a coaching establishment. It's closed for the summer, but there's someone sitting by the pond nearby. It's Miss Tilda, our neighbor. As we can see, she loves spending time outside. Tilda loves animals of all species and wants to be a naturalist when she grows up. We can't help but notice that she has a jam jar next to her, but we can't have it. She's hunting newts and needs it for when she catches one. We ask her if she would let us have it if we brought her something even better than a newt, and she enthusiastically agrees. So there's our second or fourth objective, depending on how you're counting. Ooh, the picnic spot! Let's check it out! A grisly murder has taken place.
I feel the need to remind you that I am retired. I am a beekeeper. Grotesque happenings are not my personal concern. As an ordinary citizen, I should leave investigative matters to the police. Let's have a look, shall we?
It's Sanjay Kumar, a boy of 12, who's clearly absolutely obsessed with us, from the Deerstalker to the copy of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes tucked into his pants. He's also very obviously breathing, and the blood is red paint.
Young man, can you hear me? You've been inspired by the work of my friend Watson to stage your own murder. Might I ask why?
But have you solved the mystery? Do you know who murdered me?
You have not been murdered.
But if I had been, do you know who did it? I thought you'd look at the footprints.
I have looked at the footprints. You created them yourself by wearing larger shoes than your own and walking backwards. You then threw the shoes off the cliff.
I know, but if I hadn't done that, who would they suggest the murderer was? You were supposed to think it was Harry.
Who is Harry?
Don't you know? He's Harry. He's in the year above me at school.
And you wish to frame him for your murder?
No, not really. I didn't want him to be hanged or anything.
Well, that is gratifying.
It's just he's always mean to me, so I thought I'd get back at him. You weren't fooled at all?
No.
Oh.
In future, you may want to add a slight amount of blue dye to your fake blood, and perhaps cornflour to make it more viscous. You should have become more adept at hiding your breathing and found some way to prevent me getting close to you. I am no doctor, and my eyesight is poor, but at close quarters, I can tell a healthy boy from a corpse.
Oh. Right. Of course. I've been stupid, haven't I?
Oh, Holmes, stop talking right now! Holmes does not, in fact, stop talking, and Sanjay walks away crying.
I have a new hypothesis. That I am a nasty, misanthropic old man who breaks young boys' dreams.
At least you're self-aware in your old age. Here's another objective. Cheer him up. Oh my god, and it's his mom who makes the elderflower cordial. So it's not even an optional objective, out of the goodness of our hearts. Well done, Holmes. Anyways, looking out at the beach, we can see a crowd that's ruining the beautiful and peaceful view meant for Watson. We have to put a stop to that. Walking down to the beach, we see what's going on. A young woman exhibiting a supposedly real mermaid. Inspecting the thing closely, it's obviously a monkey's body with a paper tail. Couldn't even stitch it to a real fish tail. But how to prove that that's the case when everyone here is being fooled by the paper tail right in front of their eyes? Further to the right, apart from the crowd, our good friend and headmaster of the Gables, Harold Stackhurst, is standing by, reading the newspaper. We ask if there is anything interesting happening in London, and listen to this.
A number of valuable specimens of taxidermy belonging to the British Museum still remain missing, a week after disappearing during their transfer from Montague House, Bloomsbury, to the new site in South Kensington. Lost treasures include a great many pieces collected by the late Charles Darwin, and the only surviving specimen of the great auk from the British Isles. Director of the museum, William Henry Flower, states that... well, you get the idea.
But no, it could be a coincidence. We still need more evidence. We invite Harold over for dinner. He's never met our dear Dr. Watson before, and he says we could all go see a mystery movie together. Sounds great! Now on to the village. Seems like we're having a fete today. Observing the girl selling flowers here, we can see that she's wearing makeup and a wig, but she's not a performer. A disguise? Anyways, we buy a rose and she tells us that her name is Rose Smith. Convenient, but then again, I remember reading about a study that showed that you're more likely to choose a profession that kinda sounds like your name, like dentists called Dennis. No idea if that's been debunked or not, but you know, the idea is floating around there. We then study Ruffles, the clown. We can see that his eye patch isn't a part of his costume, and he shows all the signs of being a war veteran. He's committed to the clown bit, though. Further into the fete, we can see Mrs. Fanny Whitlock, head of the Women's Institute. She's organizing the Best in Show competition. And look, there's a category for Best Honey. And wouldn't you know it, the prize is a hamper full of picnic food. Somehow, our tiny village got the mystery author, Drusilla Duffy, to be the judge. You know, someone impartial to ensure the fairness of the competition. We can enter the last house here, and turns out it's Miss Tilda's humble abode. There's her aunt slapping something together on the sewing machine, and here we can see a picture of little Tilda and her parents. Her father died in combat, and her mom perished soon after they got the news. Then Tilda was taken in by her aunt. Talking to Miss Hunter, we find out that she's headmistress in a new school, and is catching up on the little things she doesn't have time for during the term. She's making a new dress and tells us she enjoys making clothes. Even offers to make something for us, since she rarely gets the chance to sew anything for men.
I did try once, for a neighbour. Unfortunately, he misunderstood my offer for, well, a romantic overture. Poor fellow. I had to let him down gently.
We then ask her more about Tilda's parents.
What was your sister like?
Oh, she was wonderful, Mr. Holmes. She could make me laugh for hours and hours. She struggled terribly at school with her reading and writing, even though she was very intelligent. It left her with few options for earning a living after our parents died. You will recall, I was very desperate for a good salary when we first met. It was in the knowledge that I had to support her.
What was your sister's husband like?
He was the genuine life and soul of every party he ever attended. Such a happy, vivacious soul, when he used to visit on leave from the army. I could see it was beginning to change him. Then again, it changed us all, didn't it?
Visiting our brain attic, I try combining the facts we have at random, but...
That clown's face is familiar to me. Surely it is the man in the photograph. He is Miss Tilda's father.
What? I was not expecting that. We tried to talk to him about it, but no, still committed to the Ruffles bit. Okay, you leave me no choice. Photograph attack.
What's that? This is... Where did you get this?
You are the soldier in the photograph, I believe.
Yes. And the woman is my wife Jane, and the little girl my daughter, Tilda. I thought this was lost.
Turns out that he was actually a prisoner, not dead. When he finally managed to come back home, he found his house abandoned, the neighbors telling him what had happened. He decided that Tilda would be better off without him, without the broken man that came back from the war. We smack some sense into him and he thanks us, promising that he'll go talk to her after his performance. If I had a nickel for every time a story set in the summer after World War I, where things are seemingly happy, but people are still struggling to heal from the wounds the war left, rendered me to tears, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that happened twice. We go check up on Miss Tilda after this, and...
Tilda, do you remember your parents?
Not much. I was little when they died.
Yes, I quite understand.
Are you an orphan like me, Mr. Holmes?
In a sense. My parents have both died.
So don't you have any family at all?
I have an older brother. He lives in London.
I wish I had a big brother.
But Tilda, you have your Aunt Violet. She loves you dearly. It is also possible to make family of your own choosing. Dr. Watson and I are not related by blood, but we have been as close as 2 people can be for many decades.
Then, may I choose you to be in my family?
You may, if you wish.
Anyways, Sanjay is here too. Let's see what we can do for him. We apologize to him and he says that he's not upset anymore because of something he read in his Bible, Dr. Watson's Tales. Specifically in the adventure of the solitary cyclist, which I remember as the one where Watson is unbelievably stupid and naive. Like, a young woman goes to them because she's scared she's being followed. Every week she rides her bike from the manor she works at to the train station. Alone, in an isolated trail, solitary cyclist, woman, alone, every week. Routine, easy to find out. And And Watson truly thinks with his whole chest that there's absolutely no danger. She's just paranoid. Anyways, mini rant over, back to Sanjay. He tells us that he has a real case to solve now. His cat, Kalu, has been kidnapped. They've had Kalu for years, and she's never strayed far and never ever missed a meal. Until a weird guy moved in the house next door. Sanjay's mom went over to welcome him to the village, and he was really rude. Until a week later, he showed up, trying to buy Kalu. She wasn't for sale, so he got angry again and stormed off. Before disappearing, Kalu brought an insanely huge rat home. She's the best rat catcher in all the land. Sanjay's mom buried the thing in the yard. And now she's gone missing for 5 days now. And our little guy is positive that it was the rude man next door who took her. We tell him that we'll help him find his cat, and...
Really? Does that mean... Am I... your client?
I suppose so.
I am Sherlock Holmes's client!
Don't shout, Sanjay. You'll scare away my newts.
He's so cute! On to the last area of the village, the cottages. We can see that the earth around Sanjay's house has been disturbed. Someone has been gardening, which means that it won't be as easy as finding the one spot of disturbed earth to find the giant rat. I tried asking Toby the Third to find the beast, but he's just like, what? Checking the suspicious house out, there's a gate next to it. A gate that a non-law-abiding citizen would pick the lock to. We picked the lock. Sneaking to the back of the house and looking through the window, we can see Kalu, peacefully hanging out with 3 huge rats. We could pick the lock here and rescue the cat, but where's the fun in that? Holmes wants to solve the mystery, so Kalu's little soirée can continue for a little while longer. Last orders, girls! In our brain attic, we can put together the theory that the house is infested, and the charming new owner hopes that Kalu will solve the problem. Just for the sake of stating it, is Kalu the only cat in this village? I mean, usually there's a surplus of cats. They're not exactly an endangered species. Answer: yeah, just like Tilda's jam jar is the only jam jar available, and Holmes, a beekeeper, doesn't have one, or 100, laying about. I feel stupid for stating the obvious game logic here, but I'd feel more stupid not mentioning it at all, so there you go. We tried talking to the owner of the house, but obviously he doesn't want to talk. I mean, maybe he was just being racist towards Mrs. Kumar, but nope. He just doesn't want to talk to anybody. We then talk to the one and only Mrs. Kumar, and she's justifiably furious at us. If we really put effort into cheering Sanjay up, maybe she'll consider talking to us. Or selling us the famed elderflower cordial. Inspecting the trash basket, there's some weird fur in there. Must belong to the giant rat. We let Toby sniff it, and he's immediately on it. Before we can blink, he's found the grave. We exhumed the body with our shovel, and it's taxidermy. Taxidermized something, not native to England for sure. Huh. Maybe Miss Tilda can tell us what it is.
What do you make of this, Miss Tilda?
Is that a nutria? It's a nutria! The nutria is my absolute favourite large herbivorous semi-aquatic South American rodent.
You may consider it to be yours.
Mr. Holmes, thank you. Thank you! This is the nicest present anyone has ever given me.
Oh, okay, I guess we don't need it. Can we have that jam jar now? Thank you, Miss Tilda. We can now go back home and get the honey ready to compete. Oh, we can listen to some music!
the flowers, and when we get where no one else can see, cuddle up, cuddle up, cuddle up. Be my little baby bumblebee. Buzz around, keep a buzzing round. We'll be just as happy as can be. You and me, you and me, you and me. Honey, keep a buzzing, please. I've got a dozen cousin bees, but I want you to be my baby bumblebee.
This is such a cute touch. Plus the fact that we can play with the record, and sometimes it fits and sometimes it doesn't. I love it. And we can play for Watson too.
Watson?
That was beautiful.
I'll leave you to return to your nap.
And for Sanjay.
Are you quite well?
Yes, no, I don't know. Sherlock Holmes is playing his violin for me. I'm not sure how to handle that.
Okay, I didn't go around playing the violin for everyone, but I love that you can. Anyways, we can now enter our honey to the Best in Show competition. But another problem arises. Mrs. Duffy has been kidnapped. Mrs. Whitlock found a note saying,
Mrs. Duffy is unable to attend judging the fate today. Apologies.
She also doesn't know what Mrs. Duffy looks like, so Holmes says that he could step in to judge, but then we wouldn't be able to compete. And we need that picnic hamper. Whatever are we gonna do? Putting facts together in the brain attic, we can make a very educated guess that Rose Smith is the vanished Drusilla Duffy. But she's busy in her character, studying the role of a Cockney flower girl for her next novel. So, again, whatever are we gonna do? Give a rose to Watson?
Or you, Watson?
A lovely rose. It is such a long time since I have seen one. I adore their smell. I always remember that time you told me that flowers are a sign of hope, of the goodness of Providence. I thought of your words when I noticed poppies flowering all along the Western Front. They appreciate the soil that has been all churned up by the shelling, I suppose. They are a telltale remnant of the destruction man has wrought on fellow men, but a sign that life is difficult to stamp out.
Back to the brain attic. Putting the facts together, it becomes clear. The museum heist must have chosen this village to hide the collection while they wait for the case to go cold. What they didn't know was that the house was infested with rats, and they started to eat away at the priceless collection. Kalu was brought in to try and save the endeavor. So, can we save the cat now?
Now, let us see about picking this lock.
Hey, what's that?
I think before I try that again, I will need to engineer some kind of distraction. It is the sort of thing in years past I would have used Watson for.
Well, old habits die hard. Watson!
Watson, the game is afoot. I need your help.
Of course, Holmes. What do you need?
A distraction, so that I could break into the house of a criminal who has perpetrated a heist on the British Museum.
Holmes, are you telling me that in the past few hours you have somehow embroiled yourself in a case?
I suppose I have, yes. Unfortunately, the local constabulary refused to believe me, so I must take matters into my own hands.
You must?
Well, I want to. Come along, Watson. Just keep the fellow trapped in conversation for a while.
As always, Holmes, it is my pleasure to assist you. But you will tell me the whole story as soon as you can, won't you?
Of course, dear fellow. Such as it is.
Very well. Let's go.
What do you want?
Good morning, sir. I am here from the Ministry of Health. I'm afraid we've had some quite disturbing reports of an outbreak of Tapanuli fever in the area. Have you heard of Tapanuli fever? Dreadful business. I'm afraid I must do some tests on you to see if you are affected.
What? I'm not sick.
You may not feel sick now, but the first symptoms are subtle. If you will let me listen to your heart, take your blood pressure...
Holmes's act naturally little walk is everything to me. We pick the lock and make it inside. Let's see.
Now let us see what we have here. There is a list of taxidermized animals which have been stolen. Includes a nutria and... Interesting. A chimpanzee. I think I will take these papers with me. They may be useful.
Well. Okay, let's get out of here. Party's over, girls. See you later. We return Kalu to Sanjay and ask him to please go tell his mother that he's happy now so we can go buy our booze. Now, since we're nearby, on to dealing with that mermaid crowd.
What's this then?
It is a selection of documents concerning the theft of a valuable taxidermy collection from the British Museum. A crime which is being watched incredibly closely by the police and the public. And look here, your name appears to be listed amongst the buyers. I would expect that the constabulary would find it rather incriminating.
What? I didn't know the monkey was stolen when I bought it. I'm innocent.
So a jury may decide in time. Rather a bother for you, though. Questions may be asked about other activities you've engaged in. I predict that this is not your first foray across the line of the law in your pursuit of wealth. Might I make a suggestion?
Yes?
You seem a bright young woman. If you leave this place immediately, returning this beach to peace and calm, I may delay in handing these documents to the police for a day or two.
You would do that? Thank you, sir. I'll pack up immediately.
A leopard seldom changes its spots, but I have offered her the opportunity at least.
Oh, she left the mermaid. Miss Tilda. I mean, it's taxidermy and paper. Despite looking disgusting, it's not gonna harm her any more than the nutria. Apparently Toby III is taking a dip in the ocean. Oh, we can buy fabric from Mrs. Komar. Miss Hunter did say that she loved to sew us something. Holmes and drag? I'm sorry, Miss Hunter. Your chance to sew gentlemen's clothes will have to wait. Now, about that cordial.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. I apologize for being so short with you earlier. Sanjay is a bright, sensitive boy, and I do not like to see him upset.
I understand he has trouble from the other boys at school.
Yes. They know that he is shy and a little unusual in his interests, so they make nasty jokes about him. He does not have a single friend.
A lamentable situation, but not the whole truth, I feel. He is very close friends with Miss Tilda.
But they never talk.
That is how it is with some friendships. They might not talk, but they stay close to one another while they go about their favourite pastimes.
I see. That is a comforting thought. Here, Mr. Holmes, have this elderflower cordial with my compliments.
Thank you, Mrs. Kumar. Goodbye, Mrs. Kumar.
Goodbye, Mr. Holmes.
This game is this game is so cute. This game is so cute. Now on to Miss Hunter. Oh, I see it now. This is how we solved the Drusilla Duffy problem. Since Mrs. Whitlock has never seen her, we use our old disguising skills and become her. Miss Hunter gladly slaps the dress together, but something's still missing. We borrow her straw hat and... we need some hair. Our good Martha wears wigs, of course. We pick the lock to her room and... she has a huge battle axe. I don't know about you, but I find that oddly comforting. We grab the wig and back to the fate to judge.
Do excuse me. I sent my apologies earlier. However, I'm now available to judge your competition.
Oh, you mean to say you are...
Mrs. Drusilla Duffy, indeed.
May I just say, I am dearly fond of your Caspar Hassler books. I especially love 5 Deaths in a Balloon.
Indeed. That was certainly one of my more improbable entries in the series.
Perhaps. But I just love the part with all the otters. Here, let me show you the entries you need to judge.
As I suspected, my honey is by far the best, and so I can award it first place without compromising myself.
Mr. Holmes will be pleased. I will have to give him his picnic hamper when I see him next. And I have this lovely bouquet as a thank you for you, Miss Duffy.
Excuse me a moment. Mrs. Duffy? Forgive me, but I am a great admirer of your work. I wondered if you might sign my copy of one of your Caspar Hassler mysteries?
But of course. To what name should I sign it?
Dr. John Watson, if you please. Thank you so much.
Dr. Watson? Could it be that you are the writer of the Sherlock Holmes stories?
Indeed, I am. How nice to know I am known by such a fine writer as yourself.
I adore your writing, Doctor.
That is high praise coming from such a renowned writer. Surely, you do my little sketches too much credit.
Absolutely not, sir. People will be reading your stories a century from now. I know that there are some who say that mysteries are not high art. We must ignore them. We bring moments of joy and escape into the lives of our readers. What could be more important? Are you and Mr. Holmes still close? Some of your stories may be concerned that you had grown apart.
I believe our bond is as strong as ever. It is simply that our paths have taken us in different directions in recent years. I remained a busy doctor, while Holmes has undergone a quiet metamorphosis. The fruition of a process which I believe began many years ago on a mountain in Tibet.
A metamorphosis, you say? Is he greatly changed?
Yes, he is. My readers would like to think of him forever bounding through London streets like a spaniel, lusting after the stimulation of the chase. Sometimes I do miss that young fellow. However, I have come to see that as an awkward chrysalid stage of his life. Sometimes I feared he would not survive it. What emerged from that cocoon is a different kind of man. He has one foot beyond some veil, and a kind of peace has settled on him. He is content. Sherlock Holmes. Content. It is a beautiful thing.
I see. Do you live in the area, Dr. Watson?
Presently, I am only a visitor. However, I have been considering making a move.
You have?
Yes. I feel I have seen too much war and death. It is about time I took up my ease. It is really only a question of logistics, practical arrangements, finding a home, not wishing to intrude on another's solitude.
Oh, goodbye, Dr. Watson. I'm afraid I must be going.
Goodbye, Mrs. Duffy.
Oh, Watson. Well, I suppose I should return to my usual self.
Okay, first I laughed, then I cried. So, I think every single person who's ever read the canon, when Watson revealed that Holmes had retired and turned into a beekeeper, was like, what? I mean, that's so random and doesn't have like any overlap with the life of a consulting detective. I've read various attempts at explaining it, including the masterful The Case of Death and Honey by Neil Gaiman. I know, he sucks, we hate him now, but goddamn, that man can write. However, I think that the explanation Watson gives here is my favorite of them all. I can only speak for myself here. I do love mysteries of any kind, embedded in any kind of story actually, but the reason I keep coming back to Sherlock Holmes over and over is the comfort. No matter what happens, if things work out better than I ever expected, or if my life falls apart into an endless abyss, no matter what, Holmes and Watson will always be wandering through the streets of Victorian London, solving mysteries and enjoying each other's company. It sounds weird to say it, but I think that Sherlock Holmes stories are the closest I'll ever get to understanding eternity. And that mentality has made it pretty difficult for me to see them as changing and evolving characters. But this interpretation, that Holmes is content now, and that's why he decided to retire, it's beautiful. It hasn't really changed my relationship with the eternity thing. I still enjoy pastiches just as much, but it shows a more beautiful ending to the story. An ending that will never truly come to pass, yet it's always there. Just like it's hard to talk about eternity as a concept, it's hard for me to explain my feelings about this topic, but I hope that you've been able to get the gist of it. Back to the game, we grab our prize and now we've actually got everything we need for our picnic.
Watson, wake up. I have a surprise for you.
A surprise?
Yes, one worth waking up for, I assure you. Follow me. Here we are, Watson. The perfect spot for a picnic, wouldn't you say? The swooping vistas, the tang of sea salt in the air.
The view certainly is breathtaking. You are so fortunate to have this on your doorstep. It makes one never want to see London again.
After so long here alone, I have almost forgotten my fortune. When one has experienced a thing many times, a receptive companion works wonders to rekindle the enjoyment. And that is your greatest gift, my dear fellow. It always was. I worked many cases alone, but it is the ones where you accompanied me that are the most treasured in my memory.
Thank you, Holmes.
Now let us see what we have in this hamper. Egg and cress sandwiches, various jams and preserves, a meat pie or two, and a rather fine pounding.
Ah, how delicious.
Here is some elderflower cordial. I know it is a favourite of yours. I propose a toast to new beginnings, to sublime joy, to the tenacity of hope.
I will drink to all those things, Holmes.
And to you, dear fellow. I'm so very pleased you came here.
It is precisely the rest cure I needed. I actually have a confession to make.
Oh?
I knew you were set upon mischief today, and so I followed you and observed your actions at a distance. It was not deliberate. I intended to make myself fully known to you, but it became obvious that you had some secret plan, and, well, I was curious. I am sorry, dear fellow.
You followed me. I did not see you.
You taught me that when you are covertly following someone, that is precisely what the person should see.
Every time I returned to my house, you were there, asleep.
I am no actor, but even I can feign being asleep, Holmes.
Watson, you are extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary.
Oh, look at that gentleman with the little girl. The one I was surprised to see you hold so much avuncular feeling for. Father and daughter?
Yes, there is no mistaking it. They are a perfectly blessed pair. I must take you to meet her. She is a sweet little thing and very intelligent.
I would like that. I appreciated getting to help you in that caper earlier today. Although, I wonder if you should have enlisted the help of that little fellow, Sanjay, especially after you hurt his feelings.
You talked to him, didn't you? He was terribly upset with me. And then I was suddenly quite forgiven. I put it down to the caprice of youth, but it was you, wasn't it?
Yes. I overheard you talking to the boy and saw his reaction. Later, after you had left, I introduced myself to him. He was rather overawed. I informed him that you did not mean to upset him, and when he told me of the problem with his cat, I told him that I was certain you would find it if asked to help. I'm pleased you proved me right. You did not turn in that young lady, Miss Ricci, to the police?
Oh, what would have been the good in that? He was making a racket, and indeed running a racket. But I did not trust the police not to make a scapegoat of her.
Why have you done all this, Holmes? The picnic, I mean. You do not act without specific reason.
There is something I wanted to tell you. I think I have always been in love with you, John. That's the rub of it. I simply felt you should know.
Holmes?
I can only hope that the regard you may have for me and your memories of our long association are not tarnished by this.
Holmes. Do not make me wait 40 more years for another. There's a good chap.
I think there is little danger of that. Yet I have mistreated you terribly, Watson. I have manipulated you terribly when it suited my own purposes.
Yes. I have always known you have that capacity within you. Sometimes I wonder if I was the one writing your life story, or whether you were the one writing mine.
Why have you taken me on as a burden when I have mistreated you so?
You do not know the answer to that.
Tell me.
Oh, no. I will make you deduce it. But let me give you more data. Why did you take me on as a burden?
You are not a burden.
Of course I am. I am not a genius, therefore always one step behind you in matters of the mind. I frequently suffer from my war wounds, so I am slow and must be left behind. I have left you to get married, and embroil myself in the kind of domesticity you do not care for. I'm sure there have been times I have frustrated you in our years of association.
Oh, that is nothing. That is like looking at sea foam and calling it an ocean. The traits you mention are precisely those I value so highly in you. Your receptive mind gives me clarity. Your determination in the face of pain and injury gives me courage. Your romanticism and caring nature are entirely charming.
Ah. So, you would say that sometimes the things we find most difficult about a person are also an aspect of the things we love most about them.
I am a fool.
No, Holmes. You are fallible. Thank heavens for that.
How long are you able to stay here?
That is not the question, surely. I am able to stay indefinitely, if I have sufficient invitation. Holmes, you are trembling.
Confound snakes and air guns and waterfalls and maddening poisons. This is fear.
Whatever are you afraid of?
You have artfully opened the way for me to ask you to stay here, for this to be your home as much as mine. But I'm afraid I will treat you badly. We will quarrel terribly, and then I will lose you again.
Of course we will quarrel. You think that two caring people whose lives are caught up together never get thoroughly sick of each other? When we do, we shall see it through together. I think there will be no more partings. Except the one brought about by Death himself. And I think even he may have a hard time of it.
You promise it, Watson?
Yes. I promise it.
Then I shall promise too. No more partings.
And that was the Beekeeper's Picnic. So, that ending, I really wish I had a face cam to show you. Let me try to recreate it.
Why have you done all this, Holmes?
Well, now of course everything is building up to love confession, but it's gonna be as gross as usual. The Holmes analysis I'm working on, that I mentioned in the first part of this series, is actually about how pastiches and new adaptations will try absolutely everything, put these two in every situation imaginable, bend their personalities in all different directions. They'll try everything, except, have them in an actual romantic relationship. So seeing not a fanfiction, not a BBC Sherlock, Martin Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch are so hot I need them having butt sex now fanfiction. A carefully crafted, beautiful story that shows a lot of understanding of the canon, that you have to pay actual money for, having the option to actually have them in love. Nature is healing. Anyways, I obviously absolutely loved this game. It's not what you expect when you boot up a Sherlockian adventure, but man, I don't know anymore. I spent this whole video praising the Beekeeper's Picnic. What else can I say that I haven't said already? No, yeah, I got nothing else.
Bumblebee, buzz around, keep a buzzing round. Bring home all the honey, love to me. Little bee, little bee.
So, the Wonder Room actually has another game out, and it's free! Mycroft Home Simulator. And, there it is. Someone forgot to update the studio logo. It's really short and free, so it doesn't have any voice acting, and it starts with this block of text which establishes that this is taking place while Holmes plays dead after the fall from the Reichenbach. So, the close button doesn't work here? Marvelous! Here we can see our objectives. Be Mycroft Holmes. Done. Over here we have Mycroft's version of the Brain Attic, and it's the universe. And we can actually find Sherlock here. We talk to him and blah blah blah, I'm immortal Sparrow, do not tell Dr. Watson that I'm actually alive. Back in the real world, we get the same interaction options as the Beekeeper's Picnic, but remember, we're in the Diogenes Club, where speaking anywhere other than in the stranger's room is strictly forbidden. Of course we talk to things anyway and people get increasingly horrified. Ooh, a telephone! We can talk to Dr. Watson! And there's the option to tell him that Holmes is actually alive. We get a kind of hilarious warning that this is not canon compliant. Watson is obviously shocked and asks us if he can call us back. I then try to speak with the door and game over! You have been noted to break club rules 3 times and the committee has no choice but to expel you. Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure it was more than 3 times, but most importantly of all, I was in the phone room! It's pretty logical to assume that talking is allowed in the phone room, right? We can go right back into the game, sit on our chair, trick this guy into speaking, look out the window, and that's pretty much it. That's the life of Mycroft Holmes, just the way he likes it. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, blah 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 blah. And I'll make more videos if an never doesn't fall on my head. Bye!